I don't even want to appear on camera right now. I'm so despondent. I wake up every single day and the world is getting more and more messier, more and more deranged, more and more dangerous. And I know that's been that way forever. Every time I complain about the world, people are being like, well, the world's always been crazy. But why, man? Why do we have to be like this? Why do we have to be threatening each other with civilization-ending, planet-ending weaponry just for more scoops of brown goo from the earth? Why can't we work together to solve these situations, man? We have so much money and technology and research and people, we have so many people with so many ideas. Why do we have to fight like this? I'll tell you why. It's because the people who are in leadership positions are too egotistical to admit that they are not gods and that they shouldn't command ultimate authority over the earth just because they've been put in a magical chair that gives them the power to end the entire world if the rest of the world doesn't bow down at their feet. I thought World War II was supposed to be the lesson that a man given ultimate authority and ultimate power can only lead to death on a massive scale. And the private class, the billionaire class, are so unbelievably greedy that they would rather conditions like the climate or everybody slowly starve to death than give even a cent of it away to help combat it. They simultaneously want these problems to go away, yet their wealth is the only thing that could possibly fix civilization like this. Like space travel or ending world hunger. These things are an issue because these people hoard so much money. If they didn't hoard so much of it and gave it away or let the government tax them enough, they would be fine. They don't have to work at all, yet they still want more. It's so unbelievably disgusting. I think the worst sin of all is the sin of greed. You can be prideful, you can be dirt poor or homeless and still have a big opinion of yourself. But when you are rich and greedy, only bad things can happen. People around you start to suffer, and the more rich and powerful you are, the more people suffer and starve. I am so utterly disgusted by the cruelty of the human race. Only a civilization with this much consciousness and drive to compete can create something so monstrous as the world we've created right now. I seriously don't think that we're going to make it into space or we're going to cure diseases like cancer or anything like that. Do you seriously think the elites will allow us to live longer? No. They would prefer it if we were just dead so they can live in their billionaire only, technologically advanced, breakaway civilization with a few of us kept around as slaves, of course. Any others will be immediately killed or turned into biodiesel or anything like that. We're not going to space. And the ironic thing is that when we're in space, we have all the distance. We have all the time to spread out and never have to fight or interact with each other ever again. But some despotic planetary government's going to be making a Death Star or some kind of death ray or a fleet of space traveling supersonic jets that fire laser beams because humanity just can't break away from its anger and its hatred. I'm so tired of watching the news of people dying and nothing can be done to help them. It's almost like the entire world economy runs on suffering. And I know you might be saying, wow, have you only just figured it out? I haven't. I've just reached my point that I can just disconnect from it. When I was young, obviously I could, feel sensitive about it because I was young and naive and I thought the world was built on cooperation and stuff. But then I discovered the ability to kind of block it out and just ignore it and just like, oh, whatever. But I don't know what it is about today that I am just unable to process it. I feel nauseous of how despondent I am. We're either going to wipe ourselves out with nuclear weapons, or the greed and the denial of science will lead to a situation where the oceans boil over from climate change and the atmosphere becomes too toxic to breathe, and drinkable water becomes scarce, and we're going to nuke each other for the last sippy cup of water. Or we're going to develop robots because science fiction movies went unheard of, and obviously profit leads to destruction. We have built a economic model like infinite growth. It's the most destructive curse in the entire world. More money, more money, more money. In every quarter you have to make more. And that means sleepwalking into disasters, not spending on disasters, hoarding everything for yourself, denying people medical care because it will affect next quarter's profits, not spending any money on cleaning up pollution because you're not legally liable to. Man, how did we get such a raw deal? I only wanted to live a simple life. I didn't want to be involved in a catastrophe. I have no hope for the future, but I feel like if I were to remove myself from the situation, I would only be giving the elites what they want. Just one less voice in the sea of dissent and complaining. They want us to go because they can't stand us complaining. I just hope that when you're, to whoever is listening to this, I hope that your death is painless and quick and not torturous and long. I hope that whatever civilization ending cataclysm that humanity stumbles into because we were too greedy to stop, too driven by profit or novelty, I hope that the world's end is quick and painless and not drags out for ages.